I think that early on, sort of it always is helpful to be wildly optimistic, I should say, or at least dare. Maybe the proper terminology is to dare to dream big, which is that um, even early on, I think this sort of like this thread of thought, which was, hey, you know, if we actually do solve this sort of like data problem for the machine learning community, that is big. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like to build from that point, but we're going to be able to do a lot of interesting stuff if we get there. And so that thread of idea did emerge, and it honestly wasn't relevant for us for the first many years of the company because we're just focused on data labeling, data annotation. We're just focused on like solving that. But then you sort of, you know, we solved that problem. We really focused on it, we got scale, and then we picked our heads up and we're like, wow, we're actually at this sort of like the promised land that we thought at the very beginning that like we actually have a shot at like building a lot more, doing a lot more industries to sort of accelerate AI and machine learning development. And so I would say that it was maybe early on it was a pipe dream, and then it was sort of like, many years later before it actually felt like, hey, this is like a real opportunity for us. And the second part of the question, which was, at what point did I decide I was ready to pursue it, building it full time? I actually I wish I could say, oh, I was just like so convicted, and so I just and so I just like went for it. But actually, it was I really started working on it in earnest when school ended. I remember even like I put working on all of it on hold, what to get through like my finals and my final projects and all that stuff. And then the summer started, and I was like, all right, I have nothing else to do. And then we're very fortunate that we got over the course of the summer months enough momentum where it was like, hey, there's kind of no option but to just keep going at this thing. And so I think it's sort of like this barrier, this mental barrier, feels very large, oftentimes around like, hey, I have a life right now. At one point, am I going to be ready to like sacrifice my life today and then go approach this other life? I think and I think a lot of times they'll still seem very irrational. And maybe my advice is to like, not actually be quote unquote trapped in that false dichotomy, but actually just put yourself in situations where you have sort of freedom and flexibility to explore, and then like see how you gain momentum in that scenario.